Oh, there's a button. I'm here.
Okay, Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Here.
Councilman Best,
Present.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Present.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Please stand for invocation. Councilman Jaime Petrolong has it.
You may bow your heads, please. May we be more than just adequate, but truly excel in our work. We ask this in the name of the one who presides over us all. Amen.
Hats off. Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We go to awards in agenda, let's see, three agenda. I'm trying to make this as long as I can for you, Tom. Agenda order of business, and we have awards and presentations. Tom, we have none. We go to open forum, and nobody signed up for open forum, Tom.
Tom, you leaving?
We go to 6A, January 27th, 2020 regular council meeting, the minutes. I need a motion.
Through the chair, motion to move, sir.
Second.
Call the vote, please.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best.
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Yes.
Mayor Bean.
Yes, we go to all 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11A, a resolution.
This is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, establishing a property assessed clean energy or PACE program within the corporate limits of Miami Springs, approving an interlocal agreement with the Florida PACE Funding Agency, to which the entity will administer voluntary non-ad valorem financing of qualifying conservation and energy efficiency, renewable energy, and wind resistance improvements, authorizing the mayor to execute said agreements, and providing for implementing administrative actions, Scrivener's errors, conflicts, severability, and effective date. Mr. Deveshna Moore is here tonight. As you know, we have about 4 or 5 PACE programs in place with the city, but this particular program is working with the new project on 4649 36th Street. And they're looking to use this outfit for their PACE program, so we need to incorporate it into the city also.
Gotcha. One question, why is this it authorized the mayor to execute? Why is it mayor and council?
It should be manager.
Mayor and manager?
Manager is fine.
Yeah, I don't want to be alone in this.
No, it's fine. And
In case it don't work.
You know, do we have any questions on this? I mean, it's a straight thing.
Through the
Good
chair,
thing.
Mayor, I suppose others would like to hear about a little more, since the gentleman's here tonight. If you could maybe tell us a little more about it.
Thank you, Bobby.
Sure thing. Devesh Nirmal with the Florida PACE Funding Agency and Counterpoint Energy Solutions. Actually was here 2 years ago. I was part of another PACE district, and we got a multi-provider opt-in. So I think with this opt-in, you'll have all 4 PACE districts opted. You'll be opted into all 4, which allows maximum sort of choice for property owners, whether they be commercial or residential. What's happened in this state? The state enabled PACE, and by the way, if I say anything incorrect, my former colleague here, who I know through previous work, will correct me for sure. So 2010, they enabled PACE, and 34 states have done this with a compelling public benefit finding around the fact that if private capital can flow in ways it's not previous to 2010 to wind mitigation, energy efficiency, renewable energy, that provided enough of a public benefit to justify the repayment through the taxes. What's evolved is quite a few different capital providers, some focused on residential, some focused on a mix of commercial and residential, and some on commercial. The particular capital provider in our district that is looking to help potentially with this Olivia Towers project, we're still in early stages of discussion, but we wanted to make sure we had this all enabled. We are really savvy at new construction and major renovation, and they have quite a bit of an appetite for these types of projects. And in more particular, you are pushing a lot of sustainable development in the city. So a lot of the green certification, the soft costs associated with making this building perform better during its lifetime, can be also built in depending on exactly what those costs are. So that's why this can be very useful. Once again, it can be a very financially advantageous option through the way that the financing works. It's not like a loan, it's an assessment, so.
And this isn't limited to this, just this project.
No.
This is for anybody who needs to use it.
You've already got 3 districts
Right.
enabled, and they're doing projects on a daily
Gotcha.
basis.
Okay. Any questions?
So I just have one. So this would mean that all our districts in Miami Springs have PACE, or there's still?
I think
Pending.
you're fully, or is there,
So the city became a member of the Coastal Corridor, which effectively allows it to use the Y-Green program, which is through the Green Corridor District. There are 4 PACE governments, let's to simplify it, in Florida, and each works with a different third-party program provider that kind of runs the day-to-day operations. At this point, I think I recall that another PACE program was approved at the city about a year or 2 ago. This may or may not be the 3rd or 4th, so we either have all 4, if not 3.
Three.
And what it does is it allows all of your residents, whether it's residential or commercial properties, to obtain a special financing that then gets placed on their tax bill as a non-ad valorem special assessment. So the financing for whatever improvement the property owner does gets placed on the tax bill.
Right.
Thank you. I would like to ask the city to put something on our website about this program and the Y-Green, because I know that people get confused when you get these in the mail, you know, with the Y-Green and all this is really something, or is it? And just to have something explaining, you know, what these programs are and how that somebody may be contacting you regarding these programs, what they mean. If you could help our city manager get something together, or maybe.
there are some model, I mean, a lot of cities and counties have a page dedicated to PACE. They'll list all of the districts that have been opted into and their various program administrators. So I think that can be easily remedied, yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question. Is this limited to commercial development?
The district, so some of you got my other card, which is the
No, I only
PACE
got one.
district. Sorry, I'll give you the other card as well. The PACE district I represent actually has, it's an open platform. So there are 2 residential providers and 1 commercial. So, and you already have a mix of that right now with the 3 that are already enabled. So what that just means, it's just different sources of capital and administration for the program. Like you said, it's turnkey, that each district is a local government, allowing other local governments to join and create efficiency in that manner. So I actually ran sustainability in Miami-Dade County 08 to 10. And at that time, we looked at as a county doing this on our own, like Sonoma County did in California, where we'd float municipal bonds and we would run a program. Quickly realized with the Green Corridor evolved out of a couple, very innovative cities down here. That was not the path that made sense. It really made sense to have a third-party administrator, capital providers in that all local governments depended upon, create scale and efficiency. So, yeah.
Through the chair, so you're a watchdog agency for eco-related matters as well as a funding agency. Am I getting this right or what?
So, there's 2 sides of my private. I have the agency card.
Hmm?
I work under some of the turnkey administrative stuff. I represent that because the executive, each of these districts is made up of a board of city council members and county commissioners, depending on who are the cities that form those districts. So in the district that I represent, we provide administrative services to that board, made up of the Osceola County Commissioner Cheryl Grebe, Commissioner Barbara Revels out of one of the Northeast St. Johns County, and then we have Sarasota County, our executive director is from there. And so when I say, this work of working with governments and all that, I'm handling administrative tasks, and so I'm not involved in the policy side of that. That watchdog or that oversight is done through the government representatives of the founding governments, as in the case of Green Corridor, and other government members that are brought in to that board. So just to make it clear. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to move, sir.
Second it.
Call the vote, please.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda, Mayor Bain.
Yes, thanks for coming.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Darvish.
We go to 11B, recommendation.
This is a recommendation by Recreation Department that council approve an expenditure to Train USA Inc. as a sole source provider in an amount not to exceed $75,703.04 for the replacement of 4 AC units located at the community center, as there is only one source for these types of units, for the required supplies pursuant to Section 3111. These replacements will come from the undesignated fund balance, as they were not budgeted in the fiscal year.
Just as some discussion items on your memo, we currently have 4 AC units that urgently need to be replaced. These 4 AC units at the community center gym have exceeded their runtime. Public Works, through various methods, have been maintaining and servicing these units to keep them operational. However, they are now at a point where they are beyond repair. We requested Train to visit the site and perform an inspection. Train's quote is attached. Currently, the units are operable. However, the coils on the units are severely corroded, which cause the units to run inefficiently, essentially resulting in significantly higher monthly electric bills just to cool down half of the gym to the optimal temperature setting. We considered replacing the coils as a more cost-effective option, but due to the age of the units, we run the risk of overworking and blowing out the compressors, in which we concluded the unit would then have to be replaced. Public Works has worked with Train and their contractor to make the necessary needed repairs and maintenance on the 4 units that have been leaking water into the facility, impacting the flooring. The pan liners were rusted through and were lined with a coating to provide longevity. Most recently, 2 of the pans required sheet metal to be added for substance. The existing coil shields are flaking off to the touch, and in some areas are completely gone. Photos are attached, which exposes the coils with no insulating properties, which prevents them from staying cool, thus essentially causing the units to run longer in order to reach the appropriate temperatures. I have both Tom Nash and Omar here in case you have any specific questions.
I got one question. What's the warranty on these new units gonna be? How long in other words, the gym was built in
09? was it?
8.
8, 9, right in
8,
there. Yeah.
right.
8.
8, and it's
12 years. Not even. 10.
the 8th day. Yeah,
Okay.
so you get 10 years?
Yeah, that's what we were told the average lifespan of these particular units because of where they're located, and they get 100% of the elements all the time. The newer units that are going to be coming in, there's been a lot of
Improvements?
improvements for. They line the coils now with a special chemical that prevents them from
Or gives them a bit better lifespan.
Correct.
Okay, my question though is, what's the warranty on?
I don't know what the specific warranty is going to be on these new units. We haven't gotten that information from them. But
and-
the existing ones, I don't know what was set up.
What was set up? Did the existing ones are 10 years old? 10 years old. So I would recommend, and we approved this, but I recommend that we get, even if it's a little bit, an extended warranty, the best warranty that we can get.
Well, that's
as
what
long as-
we've done moving forward with all of our facilities. We've put maintenance packages on so that.
Right.
they're a little bit-
Is that included in this price?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, that's all I
So,
have.
so that carried the units out now that are failing, right?
Well, the ones that are up there now, we were a little late in the game when I came in and tried to get that program started like we did with City Hall. Most of the units up there, we were able to salvage. There's 14 units on that roof. Most of them now have that coating. These particular 4,
Did not.
it wasn't worth putting the money into.
Gotcha,
So
Tom.
we rode them out, and now they've gotten to them where we can't work with them anymore.
Saw the picture, and they look really, they're really
Yeah,
in bad shape.
when you take the covers off of those units, it's like dandruff. Those shrouds are just, they're
Fall
just
apart.
non-existent.
Mayor, may I ask a question? Tom, so there's 14 units total up there, and these are 4
Correct.
How did the others
They're in
look?
great shape.
Are the others also 10 years old? They were put in at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, so,
Yeah, we were able to salvage, the majority of them. These 4, for some reason, they didn't, we weren't able to
okay.
keep them going.
So you don't anticipate, you expect that the remaining ones that we have will last us a few years, that this isn't going to be a cost again
Fingers
next year?
crossed, but yes, we do have maintenance agreements or packages on those.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Entertain a motion?
Motion to move.
Second.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolano,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Thank you. Thank you, Omar.
And Tom?
Thank you.
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
guys.
Let me see. We go to, this is 12A, request for Councilman Petrolonga to discuss the use of drones in the city in the Miami Springs Police Department.
Yes, at the last meeting, there was a discussion at the end, and there was consensus to bring this back at this meeting, so I asked the chief, he had already done some groundwork on this, but got him prepared for tonight, and Chief?
Before we, I know you did a lot of work on this, but before we pursue this, do we want to hear this out? Sure. Okay. Okay.
Well, as far as work is concerned, it's a very expensive piece of equipment, and it's not something that we would use every day.
Right.
I would prefer to use those funds to some piece of technology that we would use every day.
Right.
In the event that we would need one, we have a very good working relationship with Medley, and they have offered that and other things, just like we have very good relationships with the other municipalities and law enforcement agencies in the area.
That's your interlocal agreements with them to help each other out.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Our last visit to Medley, to the police department, they made the commitment that in case we needed it, they would provide the drone and the police officer that needs to.
It's not just the purchase of it. It's the training and licensing,
exactly.
and we're so close to Miami International Airport. And again, it's something that 99.9% of the time we'd just be sitting there. I'd rather use it's an expensive piece of equipment. I'd rather use the funding for that for something else.
There was an issue at one of the local schools, and Medley came out with their
Correct.
drone. to
I
help,
believe if it wasn't last year, it was the year before. We had some threats at the middle school, and not only did Medley, reach out to us and send us some extra officers for visibility, they brought it out.
Yeah.
They have people that are trained, and it's a whole process, and you have to be licensed and registered with the FAA, and it's just an extensive process.
Gotcha.
But like that, for example, Miami-Dade Police at the airport, Major Ray Malcon and I, we've known each other for over 20 years. They have 18 bomb dogs. And he said, you ever get a bomb threat, let me know. I'll send you a couple dogs.
Right.
Those are the relationships. And as you said, mutual aid agreements that we have with
Right.
other municipalities that all I got to do is pick up the phone and they'll provide assistance just like,
You would provide for them if they needed
Exactly.
it. Understood. Does we have anything else to discuss on this item?
I don't. Anybody else?
No.
Okay. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
All right.
Comfort to know we have these relationships, actually.
But we vote on doing them.
Yep.
Let's see what we got next.
Reports.
Oh, City Attorney, anything from you today?
No, Mr. Mayor.
No. City Manager and City Clerk, City Assistant City
Yes,
Manager?
just quickly, I wanted to advise council that during day days, we made some good progress on certain of the project requests that we made for the meals for the senior, the project on East Drive, and the median project on North Road and Poinciana. So it's just a matter of getting through now and seeing if
The governor doesn't veto
the
it.
governor doesn't veto them. But I don't want to get into, I'll let the three that were there chime in on what their thoughts are of the meeting. Do you have anything?
I have a few things. First of all, let's wish happy birthday to, I'm sorry.
I wanted to do that. Man, God. All right. Well, today's William's birthday.
William's birthday.
Legal drinking age.
No wonder you got carded in Tallahassee.
They card everybody in South Carolina, Bobby.
Is there? Yeah.
Yeah, everybody, even
Oh,
me.
by the way, remember Thursday, February 13th, Country Club, 6 p.m. We have the League of Cities.
Yes.
dinner.
It's Thursday, William.
This
This
Thursday.
Thursday.
It's this Thursday, yeah.
February 13th.
6:37.
6.
6.
6.
Okay, go ahead.
Also on the 13th.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Also on the 13th, we have the Community Shred Day, which residents and business owners are able to bring in a total of 3 boxes to be shredded, free of charge, and that's from 4 to 7 in the parking lot of the community center. We also have this Saturday our Daddy-Daughter Night, so hopefully everybody's gotten their tickets for Daddy-Daughter Boots and Beauties at the Country Club. Next Wednesday, we have our regular visit monthly visit from State Senator Manny Diaz Jr.'s office at 11 o'clock here in the council chambers. Also, we have on the 19th, the following day, we have a visit from Representative Congress Diaz-Ballard's office at 11 o'clock as well. On the Saturday, the 22nd, we have the River Cities Ride 2020, which is that bike, a family bike scavenger hunt that is part of VG and City of Miami Springs. And that's it. Then we'll be back at another council meeting.
You got it. Thank you. Well, who wants to go first from Tallahassee? Who wants to make the first report?
Allow Maria, because she was up there before us.
Okay.
No, I just want to say it was great to be up there with Councilman Petrolanda and Councilman Best and our city manager, William. We met with the representatives, with our state representative, Brian Avila, with Senator Manny Diaz. I met later also with Representative Joseph Geller, and we discussed a lot of really important issues, and I think we're making a lot of progress. I'm hoping that the appropriations that the governor doesn't veto them, because I think both the Senator Diaz and Representative Brian Avila are working hard for us to get us what we're asking for.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Not right now.
That's it?
Thank
Oh, you still got more? You can finish your last report. You have anything else other than that?
That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Best?
Maria, pretty well, between the manager and Councilwoman Vice Mayor Mitchell, pretty well covered it. There's a couple things in the wind right now which could prove to be very beneficial to the city were it to go forward. What I found fascinating, and I've known this, but just to see it again, like, right in front of you, is how these guys move bills, Growing up, I always used to hear about, in the federal government, what they do is they'll stick something in. Some senator from Minnesota will stick something in because he needs 80 miles of an interstate highway paved.
They call it pork.
Yeah, and they stick it in, and some of our stuff is involved is in this kind of arrangement. But the one that I spoke of initially when tonight was one that will greatly benefit us going forward. So. I don't know that I'm at liberty to speak to what it is at the moment, but let's stay tuned. It's very, very positive. Thank you, Mayor.
I have a couple of things, Mayor. Tonight would be a great night for a football game.
There's no
What do you think, Mayor?
We have a pickup basketball game.
Finishing early.
Rec Center.
I don't.
Anything else from?
Oh, wait, I'm not done.
Oh.
I was just making a joke.
Oh,
thought you were.
No, not you, but.
Hey, I had a newspaper. I was going to do that tonight, but I decided.
Go ahead.
Much levity.
The manager and I
I
discussed
just want
this
to
details.
echo what William and Maria and Bob said. I think stay tuned. Something on the pipeline that's going to benefit us greatly, and everybody's going to be happy if it goes through. It looks right now that it's going to go through, but we don't
Well,
want to jinx it.
But one of them's a law. One of them is a law. The others are appropriations. So.
Right. Well, you know which one I'm referring
Yeah,
to.
but one's a law and one's an appropriate. Two are so. It's a little different one than the other, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. The other thing is, I need a consensus. They reached from the women's club. Elizabeth reached me, contacted me, and she wanted to do a proclamation. On the 28th of March, there is their 80th anniversary, so they wanted us to do some kind of proclamation. So I'm asking to see if that's something we want to support, so William can continue, work on it.
Well, the clerk does that work. William doesn't do that work. But I was going to get with the clerk and get it going. I saw the memo too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they reached out to me, they called me, and that's why the memo.
We have consensus to give them?
Yes, absolutely,
Okay, no
definitely.
problem.
Okay,
Got it, sir.
all right, and that's all.
Through the chair. Erica, can I have a water?
She doesn't get that.
I'll explain later.
Yeah.
You,
Oh.
and Councilwoman, anything?
I'm good, I don't have anything.
Okay, that's it. So we made it to 26 minutes.
Is that a
Tom?
record? Is that a record?
I don't know, but I don't care. This meeting's adjourned.
Tom can look that up.
Don't tell me we got something else.
This poor addition. Oh, League of Cities had nothing to
Oh,
do with it.
yeah, it's been 5. Well,
League
that
of
one-
Cities had nothing